look at their coaching staff regularly as the likes of Yautzin sits there in his dungeon and figures out how to break apart these different teams. So they've both got exactly what they needed to play their best Valorant. So I think it's going to be one hell of a game.
Some of the most cerebral Valorant we've seen this stage has been on the back of Team Liquid's calls, and now they face a FUT that looks very strong on this map, but has plenty of tape. A new challenge for the attackers already, a man down. Sop and Zeus clinging on for dear life. And Team Liquid burning up very little in that initial fight. They have plenty for the retake if it even gets to that stage. Kicks is holding the line for the first double. And now the two-man advantage and all the info to play with. They pounce to close it 1-0.
Yeah, squeaky clean start for Team Liquid, and I think an important one of that. We mentioned it already. I think especially going into those attack sides, FUT can be devastating. You let the likes of Zeus especially get rolling, and they can be very difficult to stop. But for now, at least, having the trap set up in play, being well prepared, and I think that is always going to be the difference when you look at the likes of a Team Liquid. Their preparation is normally second to none in EMEA.
Well, now, the hard work done in the pistol, and the easy round follows up. It's classics across the board. A lot of teams this stage been struggling, especially in those play-ins, to deal with these lower buys. They've been giving away a lot of weapons, losing rounds. If not in the second, it's the first anti-ecos that come up a little bit later on. For Liquid, keeping this clean is important. They've got one pistol to play with, so a loss won't be the end of the world, but after that first, it's all going to start adding up. The other thing is, for FUT, they're walking into the heavier site. Liquid have got 3 players here, primed and ready for the fight. Camel's going to start with his flash. It's caught a lot, a little slow to follow up on it, but Kix is there, picking up 2 kills and making this a nice, easy closer. Indeed, just a one-man loss, no weapons given away, and a very nice second round for Liquid.
Yeah, again, the right read, right place, right time. Maybe happy to play retake on some other parts of the map. You may have always also hoped a little bit that maybe Camo would have got an extra kill or 2 just to go towards that, run it back. Obviously a little bit more expensive than it once was, but ultimately ending up quite comfortable. But this is where things should get a little bit more interesting for purchasing up with the rifles across the board. Not too many orbs earned up, but Cristalli is a little bit closer to his ult than anything else. By the looks of it, the defense aren't just going to sit back on this one.
It's that same information for Liquid. They played 3 players on A, 1 on B, and then Cypher, Nats covering all the information on this left side of the map. Same trips we've seen. The most important thing, though, is the camera. It being all the way down on C long cannot be allowed from that attacking side, and Yedajay's just destroyed it. So removed a little bit of information that you'd hope it's going to make them look back towards the C site. Liquid now, it's been,
this is all
30, 40 seconds since they've seen anyone had any info on that side of the map. Instead, they stack up as 5, put the drone out on A. It sees no one, but that's put from so far back. That was only going to tell them if there was a push imminently coming in. And now this very slow push-up, well, if they continued with the 3, it would be dangerous. Instead, Cristalli's only got 1 man pushing him, so not as much danger.
Yeah, so the only danger was that if Nat somehow won that, it would have been the spike on the ground. But him finding information plots a route back in the other direction. Instead, though, early pressure is going to deny the fall back towards the B site. And FUT taking a long time here. That's the thing that's starting to worry me. 30 seconds available. Sociable, however, has already found the opener. Trades back thick and fast. And now the spike has to reroute again.
Back to this Cypher setup. They knew he started here. Nat's only looking to do damage, hoping Trex can trade. And that's exactly what my man does. Liquid looking for a 3rd round, and it's locked in. Spike on the ground. Zeus can do nothing to contest this. What a strong start. And you got to look at FUT in that round. Slow to react when they saw the Cypher cam popped up deep on C long, right? There's nowhere else that guy can be but C. And 40 seconds later, they saw Cypher pushing A short. They got told that the rotations had happened. A little bit slow to react to it. And the punish, well, it was definitely there.
Well, yeah, I also do want to give credit on the other side, though. Like, it was constant rotations coming through from Liquid. There were points there was a 5-man stack. Then they had 2 players within B. And by the time that the rotation came into C, they had 2 players there as well. They were always in the right place at the right time, reacting to the moves that FUT were making. Zeus, though, is going to keep that as a hero rifle. And normally in these sort of rounds is where you will see FUT be a little bit more direct with their play.
Zeus able to prod at the front of the group, but still take that TP back.
There.
No contact scene. Flash. Oh, it works as a distraction. That was not intended. Not in that manner, but Nats ends up with one. Walks up through the smoke. Hey, it's an ambitious play against a low buy. A costly one now with the rifle recovered. Sociable, looking to do some damage. And I think there's another to be picked up as well. Indeed, it's in Cristalli now.
This is a bit more problematic. Camo's still in position. Taking quite a lot of damage, but has cover from Purpo as well. And Camo going to make sure this doesn't get too far out of control. At least it seems there's still another player to wrap around, but no longer having any of that weaponry, any of those upgrades in hand, it is going to make it much tougher.
Nice.
Good recovery from Liquid to make that 4-0. The credits will still build, and FUT, they need to get on the board and fast.
No, they just do an excellent job there waiting for Trex. You can see the patience. These rounds often get out of control because the attackers are able to snowball that first engagement. In this case, second engagement, because I don't know what Nats was thinking. Like, with the Spectre last round, he was the guy to get aggressive, sure. This round, he's lost the plot completely. But hey, it's 4-0 anyways. The rest of the team played it tight, and probably now Nats has a little bit of a leash on him. They're gonna have to control him slightly.
Maybe someone gave him a bad call. Who knows?
Yes. Yeah, who's the IGL of this team again? The rascal.
Oh, in with the Odin. An upgrade or two of their own. Even still, Zeus is going to be left on just an SMG. A 4-0 start on Haven. Like we've said, these games have always been close, but a lot of the time FUT have been building up rounds on that attack. So it's a fantastic start for Liquid. It's how far forward they can go with it. And well, for Purpo, that means literally.
Yeah, he'll back off eventually. And for FUT, well, they spotted the aggression on A. It's not too late to get back into this game, but losing this round here, that's going to steepen the slope to an uncomfortable degree. Camo's moved to the left side now, ready to combine with kicks, keep that control, and they're not even looking on the way through. It looks free as can be for Camo because Nats is laying down lead. 5-0 now for FUT, or for Team Liquid. For FUT, it's a disaster.
Yeah, this is another case of, look how many players were on that B side by the time they made the move. It was 4 in a crossfire. They don't even clear Camo in the close corner because they're so focused on everything else that is going on. Liquid right now is calling.
Hey, there was spray control involved in that. I saw that. A reveal had to go through.
Oh, yes.
I'm liking it more and more by the day, let me tell you. With a lot of credits in the bank, with ultis coming online, the run it back for Camo there, even if you do manage to put a dent in this squad.
Well, they've not killed 3 of the players.
Exactly.
It's not that much of a dent.
For FUT. I don't think we'll see an ult thrown into this one. As we see an ult get thrown into this one, but it is only from the shadows. A recon drone of sorts. I'm not sure what you could do, even if they spotted Purpo. He's taking a double. Camo's followed him, and 6-0 moments later, they're making it look so easy.
Well, yeah, I guess FUT have at least managed to kill Camo, but Purpo playing that aggressively is still yet to die. And you could just see the confidence that they're coming into this match with.
Spike down.
Believing that they are the better side. We've said it time and time again. This squad coming in with preparation are a different beast to some of the week-to-week games, but I don't think anybody expected to see this level on Haven, 6-0 up. The next map coming up as well is one where they may arguably be the best within the region. And FUT, they get to show us anything, even on this map as well. Sop's dead again.
Camo's running it down almost as a distraction. He leaves that space open for Kicks to walk right into. He doesn't know where to look, though. Yedajay wasn't spotted. And that late re-clear from the attacker as well, it's actually working to catch Kicks on the way back just to confirm that space has been given up. I love that from Kicks. I mean, they're in a position with a man advantage. Even him sitting in window and just waiting is a risk. And why take that risk?
Yeah.
They tighten this ship up here on Team Liquid. And a lot of presence on the A site, right? Again, we see this early stack towards the site because look at the setup towards C. They've got everything to work with there. Most importantly, the camera for the information, the only gap being Garage, but as Camo started the round by running through Garage, they know they've got it for a while. And then when they don't anymore, well, he's here to watch it. And Yedijay's found that out the hard way.
Now a two-man disadvantage, time ticking down, more passive angles being held. Kicks not wanting to give up some of those positions. And again, now they have the full force of the squad ready and raring to go. They have a couple of ultimates to play with if they want to, but they're almost just looking at this from a perspective of, okay, you're boxed in now. We know that each of these players is within the site. How are you going to try and fight out of this? And there's one at least. That's a decent start. Trex going down, removes a little bit of the utility. The TP across is bold from Sociable and not expected. He's managed to escape, and at least Zeus manages one. Sociable's position should be known, or at least a rough idea of where he is. The problem, though, is he could just spam from this position. A third already. A chance for them to get this onto the board, and Kicks is just trying to stick it, waiting to bait him in, and he will land the shot in the end as well. It looked like Sociable might be able to give FUT their first round, but the fact is, Kicks stood in his way.
The TP to catch him off guard, to catch Camo in the Garage, the spam early to pick up the diffuser. And a nice reposition inside his smoke. It looked like Sociable had done everything right. What a heartbreaking round for FUT. They saw the first round on the board and it slipped away moments later. 7-0, trailing by a mile. And that distance growing greater and greater by the second. This one not looking too comfortable. FUT have a lot of ultimates at least. Definitely still posing some danger, some threat to be given. Look at how Liquid are approaching it. They're on a low buy with ultis. It's dangerous. It's an unpredictable round. And they've sent 3 players into the spawn early. They had to run it back to push spawn last round, and there were less players there than there were to start this anti-eco.
It's going to put a lot of doubt, and even maybe force FUT into a fight towards that A site, which is exactly what Liquid want. They've rotated a third player into position. Still, none of that has been spotted. Now there's 4 players here. Genuinely, they are calling a perfect game. They are forcing FUT into the positions exactly where they want them to be. And now they look to swing. Trex picks off one, and every single time. FUT have got to be sat there like, are they in our comms? Are they watching like on some sort of radar hack? They're there every time.
No, they should have known though. From the second that we saw Nats push C long, 40 seconds later push A short, and then be there ready for them in the late fight. Couple rounds in, it looked like they were calling a beautiful game, and it hasn't changed. 8-0 for Liquid, the perfect calls every time. The stacks are there. This time, their A stack even had a Cypher trip on it. They're getting bolder and bolder, leaving more control, gambling more. At least they were. That was because they were 3-man pushed down mid to start that round. Now, we're back to normal play, but FUT want to accelerate. This is where they've stood the best chance. Both players trapped in short. The first is found, the second spotted. Beautiful work. It shouldn't go wrong from here.
Oh, the Nats Odin has at least managed to bring back one. Even still, though, 3 ults down for FUT to get into this site and having an advantage. It's not going to be a round to remember necessarily, but maybe it will be a round. I think that's the most important thing at this point, getting something onto the board. Even still, Camo looking to swing through, has an isolated fight, but he needs to take out everybody else. And it's a lot of commitment from FUT into this round, but honestly, to get one on the board, I think it was worth it.
Oh, they needed something like this. A moment where they can all agree to put it all on the table. As you said, a lot committed. And a lost round here probably does send the map spiraling. But after that double opening, it was very much a formality.
He's had 8 rounds to warm his vocals up. That's rare.
Oh, yeah. I'll find well, we don't know. Maybe we just didn't see the replay, you know?
I think if he's shouting like that after losing 8 rounds in a row.
I'm saying, like, maybe they get a kill, you know? A little opening duel. Hit that energy.
That's not clean comms.
No, well, Yedajay's caught kicks, and that cam all the way down on C has been heard. Footer just waiting on the other side, and they might even have heard some of the steps running away. They definitely sense this is going to be the freer site, and the read is spot on.
Look where Kicks died. You can see how aggressive this defensive side has become. Camo going to reclaim some space, and he's managed to get his ultimate online, but immediately traded. It won't play a part in this round, and FUT, again, with a more direct take, an opportunity for Trex to maybe even things up, but he hasn't connected onto anybody just yet. It's delayed the plant, allowed for a rotation to come in, and well, Sopik, I feel like he's been sleeping at the wheel so far this game, and up against a player like Nats, you can't afford to be asleep.
I thought we'd be talking about Purpo, Camo, but it's Nats to take him down. It's messy from Cristalli, but the cage being up, it's actually bought him just enough time. They emerge from it. A man down, that advantage no longer in their hands, and Sociable locks it in for FUT, it seems. Nats needing another big play. The spam to threaten him into the open. He's got the fight he wanted, and an idea of where Cristalli might be. He'll even catch him for the fourth. Nats delivering another big round to Team Liquid. 9-1 in the lead, and it looks like that last one was just a bump in the road.
Genuinely, some of these rounds have looked unlosable for FUT. Like that one was a 4v3 scenario in a post plant. And Sop has just not been hitting today, and you see him playing these aggressive positions. Normally, he at least gets one, or at least gets something from that fight. And then in the 2v1, I feel like it was hesitant. I think it was Cristalli was the remaining player alive. It's like, if your teammate's being spammed, I think you need to help him. You need to play that together. Instead, he played the time, and well, he lost versus Nats. Another big round for the IGL. Having a lights-out performance, the dad buff in full effect, and well, for the attack at this stage, they're clutching at straws.
So, FUT fans in the production, they've hidden the score. They don't want to believe it.
Yeah, I can understand why.
The VAR's checking the score. We might rescind a round. No, I'm kidding, of course. Kicks, that paranoia has just saved his life. He was about to have 4 players swinging on him, but he's made it out. Now the refight comes in. Kicks claims his in the end, and it's a man advantage with Trex down. We're into the 4v3. The reposition, nasty by Kicks. He's got backup as well. Camo's now the man holding that line in the walkout. Giving the game away a little bit by failing to shoot the reveal, and Yedajay's picked up Kicks. The ult is awful. It's a dreadful display. And Team Liquid stumbling, faltering for what feels like the first time. They've let the round go.
Oh, Purpo. This should be impossible. Like, look at the crossfire that's currently in play. It would have to be the mistake of the day, and I don't think it's going to be coming. At least another round will go onto the board for the side of FUT.
Last round in the half.
Good escape antics by Kicks. They were set up early. That's the thing, you know, if FUT went on all-out aggression, that's one thing. But they lost the early fight, and in resetting to move back.
I'll be honest, it looked like Camo played that round on trackpad. Like it was just really weird. It was like, he's been so crispy with it, then just missed the dart, missed everything. Everybody gets one. That's whether or not this is the beginning of something for FUT. Or if Liquid are just going to strike straight back, put their 10th onto the board. We said that normally FUT are an attack-sided team on this map. And they normally win this map. A lot of games in a row, in fact. But from only 2 on the attack side, I have to think this is already over.
It's the thing we said coming into the game as well, though. Liquid are a terrifying opponent. It feels like from barrier up, they have a read on how you play. And that's Liquid in general. Liquid, when you've got this much tape on how you play. Oh, they know. They know what you're doing. But Purpo's being caught off here. Camo only good for the 1. And with that FUT, and with a real chance to put 3 on the board before this half is done. Certainly doesn't shine a light on their previous attack side performances, but it's a damn sight better than 2.
Yeah, for sure.
Hello.
Pistol round will put them back into contention. Hunter's Fury being utilized a little early, trying to disrupt.
No one's looking.
But even still, from behind, Kicks isn't going to get anything. And for Nat, 17 HP. I don't know where Sociable's going. But even getting out of heaven, there should be no way that Nats can get anything from this position. The third round feeling cemented, and Yedaje will make sure that it is anything but comfort for FUT on a map that they have won 7 times in a row. They're going to need one hell of a comeback, Mitch.
Oh yeah, that's a solid first half if ever we've seen one from Team Liquid. And let me tell you, we have seen some solid halves from this team. They've got to feel happy about how this one's gone. Nat's calling a beautiful game, and the man himself was sat down for an interview before this matchup. Take a listen during the halftime to what Nats had to say.
Nats, your team, I think, was one of the biggest.
Display. Now moving to the attack, Team Liquid should have a much easier time than expected taking this map. And with Summit up next, well, I think FUT have got to be terrified for what's to come, or well, perhaps they're confident that this second half will see a return to form. They couldn't find a way in. Now they just need to keep Team Liquid out. Sociable left with that task and left the round. Seconds later, Crystalli's on fire, but not in a good way. The wall, the hot hands, everything at his feet. And he couldn't make it out. He couldn't find a safe spot. And with that, the man advantage locked in. Nats covering the flank. Sop will be taken down with ease again. Nat seems to be his kryptonite. Perhaps just the kryptonite of FUT in general as he strikes again. Leaving this one to Purpo for the orbs.
A little bit of irony in that round. Crystalli thought he was hidden, but he was revealed by Camo. There you go. But no, I genuinely, Nats has been having a fantastic performance, and I think this may be the worst performance I've ever seen Sop have. Like, normally he is the guy that we're hyping up as this superstar Turkish talent, a guy that can just obliterate anybody. Every time I feel like it's him versus Nats, whether he's holding the angle, whether Nats holding the angle, whether he's running, whether he's sitting. I didn't even see that. I didn't even see that.
What? I don't know how I didn't see that either.
I think because we were watching Nats not hit the shots and look at the floor.
Like, as soon as the replay slowed at the updraft, I was like, hold on, he's going to do something. That's crazy. Well, yeah, look, if you're already getting bodied.
Of all time, when you're getting bodied on a map that you've won 7 times in a row versus all types of opposition. But it's whether or not, I think they need to just find a bit of momentum. Even just on an individual basis, see a little bit more from
these compositions, perhaps?
From the Fnatic comms versus EP, yep. We need to see a little bit more of those.
Who are we? Sorry, too soon. Well, production knows how FUT feel.
I was about to say,
it's a disaster of a day for the defensive side. They're not having a good time, are they? Nothing they want to do is working. And for a defense now that starts out with what I presume is quite a weak buy, can't imagine it's going to get a whole lot better anytime soon.
Does he go into the next one? Because it's back-to-back trips.
He might. The problem is, without that second trip being broken, and with Yedaje stood on top of a box, the ruse is not working. Nobody thinks it's an A hit. So why would they leave? They'll just leave Yedaje here on his own to confirm that no one's coming his way. And now, if we switch to Yedaje's perspective, you're about to see a man have just the worst day when everybody rounds that corner. There's a first at least.
That's not bad.
Strong
and they have bought into this round. They've gambled in to try and make this work. And whoa, it doesn't look like Yedaje's having a bad day at all. He is surviving on the back of that side. In fact, he will survive the entire round. They needed something, some sort of miracle to bring them back from the depths. And I'll be with you, I did not think it would be that.
I think Purple got a little too locked in on breaking that trap. He was going to do it. He was going to do it now. And no one else was there to help out. Yeah, I really thought that was going to be an uncomfortable time for Yedaje, but it appears he's made the best of what should have been a bad situation. Fast rotations, first of all, coming in from Sop and Zeus. Not that Sop did much, but man, he's having a tough game. But my man Yedaje, he's earned a scream. He's earned a belter. It's a 4th for FUT. And most importantly, putting a little bit of distance between Team Liquid and that round 13.
Stop getting scanned twice. It's just not his map, you know.
Yeah, let's hope it's not his map and not his day.
Maybe it's not his half.
Cage triggered.
Probably not his map.
No, I think today.
Purpo has thread the needle. Oh, no, he hasn't thread the needle. Sociable somehow knew, had the information. And for Sop, okay, I thought he got both. He got one. He's at least warming up a little bit. A chance to farm up an eco kill or two. It doesn't seem like Liquid have put much into this round whatsoever. For Nats, still having a rifle available to him, but it will end up being an in-zone flawless round coming out for FUT. An important recovery if they're going to have any chance of bringing this back. But as said, I just want to see some of that confidence back.
I thought you were going to say comps, the ones from earlier. I thought you'd prime that. Okay.
Yeah.
Just want to see some of those.
Put them up now.
And cut to those. No, 10-5. Yeah, it's still definitely not a healthy position for FUT, but a real confidence builder indeed. Finding those 2 rounds. Yenajay being able to hold his own in the one before.
Sop is back.
And now Sop returning to the stage. Let's see if they can build up a couple more. It starts at least with what looks like a C split. And FUT having a lot of presence on the C side. It certainly spells success for the defense if Sop can hold that corner. In fact, he swings in the spams. Not kind to anyone.
No, they like to do that. They drop the smoke from a high, give him a chance to fight. Camo with his ult is trying to fight through, but it's also a distraction. Again, using his ultimate to distract away from that, swinging in, but they deal with him on a 1-for-1 trade, which so far has been pretty good. Sociable from the backside as well has managed a triple kill. And FUT from afar are starting to climb back into this. 4 rounds the difference at this stage. I don't know, still got a smile on their face.
Well, yeah, I gotta say, after that first half, the attack side being so abysmal, not sure what that first cage was. After that first half, I really didn't believe in them bouncing back, but they're starting to find their rhythm indeed. Like you said, Sociable, a triple kill.
Long way to go still, and I'm still looking at Sop. 4-14. Normally one of the standouts on this map alongside Zeus. It's normally a 1-2 punch, but they've almost been knocked out in that first half. He's still playing with the same level of confidence, though. I wonder if he's just got the wrong sense on or something. I think it was him that did happen once.
Oh, really? That's one of the more concerning things that I hear. Zeus down below has no real way out of here, and the trades are pretty good for the side that didn't have a lot to work with. Now with Kicks on a sliver of HP, it's the manpower that's the real problem, and it's only Kicks. And his 20 health remaining. The Stinger picked up. Not going to help him on this range. And perhaps a chance for Sop to build up that little bit more confidence. So he said it has been abysmal. As long as he doesn't go down to a quick 1-tap from the Sheriff, all's well. And in fact, he's just going to give up the space.
Yeah, I think at this stage, I don't think they care about Kicks getting an ultimate orb. He's not particularly close, and the From the Shadows isn't really one of those high-impact ults. Also, credits-wise, it's not even that much of a worry for them in that regard.
Spike planted.
Already trying to slow his move out of there. And actually, Sop's just going alone. As said, sometimes you question if players lose confidence. He doesn't. Maybe he's not hitting the shots, but definitely the confidence is still there. A 7th round now for FUT, straight after the pause, but that was just a week by. This is the round coming up that Liquid paused the game for. And so expectations that if they are going to break the deadlock, this will be it.
Yeah, it's weird to say considering how dominant of a start to this map they had, but it does feel like they have to win this one.
Yeah, I think if FUT win this round, game on.
Like even this round itself, it didn't start out that well for FUT. Like those early trades are great for Team Liquid, but it's recovered nicely. Ends up with 3 players alive. There's really no fear. And now Sop, well, evidently enough confidence is being built back up, or indeed no confidence was lost in the first place. The ops coming out right off rip. Purpo's got it towards the boxes, but inside garage on a pixel line lies Sop, lying in wait for one misstep. One overextension, and it is just a pixel away, but they've avoided his ire, at least for now. But sooner or later, they'll step into it. And there's an opening duel for Sop.
A good start to the round and an immediate fade away to reclaim some position for Liquid. Going into their big buy round, it is not the start they were looking for. And the funny thing is, elsewhere on the map, there's not a lot of aggression from FUT at all. You expect this team to be pushing the boundaries, to taking A control, to pressuring outside. They are completely passive. They are waiting for Liquid to try and make a move. And any level of aggression would have its risks about it. Now, does Yadajay check? He looks like he half-checked it. And that's enough to clear out at least some of the utility, but more importantly, get the information available. Liquid look to hightail towards that C side of the map where there is currently an opening. Although you can see in it, I thought for a second it was about to be SOP running in, but no, he decides to stay passive.
It's that timing from Nats that terrifies me, but he might be forced to make a move sooner rather than later. They didn't check camo!
Down, C. One enemy
He evidently had camouflage. They went right past him. Time though. The problem is Nats is left alone, taps the spike to draw the fight, but the wraparound is on. Get it in the end. Cristalli can't quite get close enough, but he's evaded the trip. He made it past Nats' setup. And another round for FUT locked in. The comeback, the climb continues. 8-10, 2 rounds behind thanks to this Red Bull clutch.
Nah, I'm surprised. I saw the trip and I was like, okay, that must be in a position where Nats is so confident in it, he's not even going to turn around. He didn't look at that direction whatsoever. This was also just manic. The fact that Cabo is able to stay alive in that corner. But Cristalli, again, we talk about this, these clutch moments. A 1v3 with Nats having absolutely no idea. And we heard it from the beginning when he joined this team, from players like Yadajay, the level that he could bring, that you hadn't seen the best of Cristalli, that sometimes he was overshadowed. Well, I think as of recent, he has really started to shine.
Cage is giving it away. They know that Nats is here and they are hunting him down. Everything thrown at him. 3 players in a Hunter's Fury. They'll catch him in the end. Sup emerging from a smoke, catches Trex and Kicks, is all alone. We talked about this even in the interview at Nats before the game, how they like to play this aggressive style. They like to come right out the gates and flood into that space, challenge you from the get-go. Well, FUT have done the same here on the defense, and it's worked wonderfully. A clean round puts them 10-9.
Yeah, they are just dominating at this point. We spoke about the 8 rounds in a row that came in for Team Liquid, and now 6 in a row of their own after winning a second round. Genuinely, if they convert round number 2, Liquid could be, well, either in the break or already in the next map of Summit. And now they're probably living to regret that round, a Yadajay individual to take that home. But now everybody's waking up. SOP's waking up. And you can see the buy that's in for the attack side. A Bladestorm is the main piece. Run it back available, but will it be used?
Sociables here early. FUT have got reinforcements on the A site. Now a 4th of Yadajay making his way in. They're taking on the first wave with ease, and the second is so far behind. The spike dropped, and Team Liquid no longer look like that well-oiled machine. Look at them fall to the man who was basically killless. A pacifist in the first half, and now an in-zone flawless with a 4K from SOP. FUT are back in the game, neck and neck, 10-10.
He was 2-11 in the first half. He is now 12-15. They gave him a little bit of time to warm up, and that is a problem. As you said, another in-zone flawless. The credits are through the roof. They can afford to invest into extra operators. They can throw money at this as long as they want. And for Liquid, they had everything in the palm of their hand. It seemed like this map was sealed after the first 8 rounds. And now, well, it looks like it's going the other way.
Come on, let's go.
Well, the blunted blade of SOP seems sharp again, and Team Liquid are being cut down to size. 10 rounds of the board for so long now, but the streak from FUT has brought them back to even. Big stack up on A man lost, and Yadajay, the walking wounded. It's confusing for FUT to see nothing on the other side. Zeus with space towards C, no steps heard. The freeze from Liquid, will it get a reaction out of the defenders? Will someone get curious and give another pick away?
Oh, Wait, the smoke. Oh, I thought that was going to work in Sociable's favor. Nats' position is still not revealed. You said it, Yedoje is desperately low. It's looking set for Liquid to reclaim their lead. But Sop, the human turret from above, the re-aggression. Camo's winning all of those fights. The whole point is he's meant to almost be baiting for Nats to give his IGL positioning, but
30 seconds.
instead, he's done the hard work. And now for FUT, not really any value in saving. As said, they've got credits galore. It's how much they think they can realistically do from this scenario. Sop believes, which, considering how far away his teammate is a little surprising.
Getting out of there seemed impossible and proved to be. Said the confidence didn't go anywhere. Maybe it should after that play.
They're giving Camo the ace. Or trying to, and he's going to close it as well. Well, I guess that's the way you wake up Team Liquid. You lose that many, and then Camo with his run it back. And then just fight on fight on fight. As said, his goal this round was to almost bait to give Nat space, and instead he killed everybody.
An ace found, 2 away from a run it back. That's the only thing you said. FUT have a lot of credits. They don't really need to save those weapons. Well, now they've given options to the other side. An op if they wanted it, but more importantly, coming into the next round, a run it back should they desire.
Yeah, after using it. That's the crazy thing. If this had been old, he would just be able to claim this orb, and he would already have the ult back at the beginning of the next round. I think that's why we saw the change. At the same time, he goes for the plant. Never mind the plant. Sop almost losing his life, but instead it's the spam of Sociable. He expected them to fight for that orb, and he didn't even kill the players that went to get it.
A fish in a thin barrel. An easy spam, easy connection. Sop on the off finds another, and the swing just gives Sop the trade. The pieces put right back together from FUT.
Also, just look at where Zeus is.
Yeah, unless Trex can find the play of the tournament, perhaps 3 in front and 1 behind. That's not a bad start, but
well, it's the one you know you're getting for free. Let's put it that way. You know Sop's going to peak, so you might as well wait. The other 3 players, he says, holding his breath, are not going to give anything over. Although saying that, Zeus is now closing the distance. He had him boxed in.
He's gone back. He's gone back. It was just because he saw him move on the drone. Then he said, oh, he's coming back. I'll retreat. Reveal still online. How Yedoje could take his hat off if he wants. There's no reason for a mistake to be made. This is a simple trade. Yedoje either takes the kill or causes it. In the aftermath, it's a fancy dart. It's got the reveal, but nothing more to be done. 11-11. 2 one-sided halves have brought us here. Someone's hitting 12 at long last.
Oh yeah, it's just whether it ends there is the real question. Sociable has been climbing that board for quite a while now, sits at the top of the pile. But there is a genuine chance that by the end of this half, Sop has overtaken him. Now up to 14 kills, and he has been a real problem for Team Liquid. The good thing is the 1 round they won was off Camo, and he's got his run it back again. It's just to be confined a place to use it, and he's going to use it immediately in towards C, which is a complete misread. The opponent's on the other side of the map. He'll gain all of the space, and this is going to have to be a full retake from FUT.
Yeah, but that's the main thing. You know, you use that ult for free space. Very little utility used on the way through. A flash, I think, is all it amounts to on his side. Of course, a clearance is C-long necessary, but it leaves them with quite a bit. Still the paranoia. Well, never mind. That paranoia is gone. Cakes has been shot in the head on backside. With him down, we lose one of the slowing mechanics. FUT might be able to fill in that little bit easier. Purpo, though, stands in their way. Only the 1 found behind the wall. Camo looks to emerge, but it's Sociable catching him off guard, leaving Nats alone. And with the defuse underway, that
he can't do anything.
I'm not sure is going to help for FUT. A long road back, one that looked full of peril, but they have navigated it back into the lead. 1 round now. Could still see this map fall into their pocket and completely change the narrative. An attack-sided team, a defense-sided team, just a Haven team.
Yeah, no, this is mental. Like, even if they've had like victories on the defense, it was a 7-5 defensive victory versus Vitality. then 8-4 attack, 10-2 attack, 7-5 attack, 10-2 attack, all in a row. They've had the worst attack maybe ever. And now they're showing...
And lost the pistol.
Yep, and lost the pistol in the next half.
And somehow we're sat here asking if Team Liquid are the ones that can stop this train.
I said we'd probably be halfway through map 2 at this point if they were able to keep up their momentum. Now they need to find it once again and then find the clues to breaking the momentum of one side. Maybe one coach did one side of the map.
They found my
Someone did an excellent job.
One of you's in big trouble.
Yeah,
is what
one of
I'm
you's in big
hearing.
trouble. No, obviously not. But either way, 12-11. Look at the positions from FUT. They are ready for this. They are waiting for this. Yetterjay already going to close out one, but the swing from Zeus hasn't worked out. Yetterjay doesn't care, though. He's going to swing alone. And Crostali is so aware of the position of kicks. They were ready. The remaining two having to clutch this back. They were moments away from victory, and instead they'll taste defeat. The comeback of dreams from FUT. And maybe a nightmare just beginning for Team Liquid. They'll lose 13-11. I don't think FUT are going to be looking too much at the tape. I feel like they normally focus inwards. I think they're a team that comes up with their own thing and tries to do it in a weird way. But I'm excited to see what they're going to do. Because again, you're starting on that defense. You've got a breach. You've got some of the most aggressive players on Earth. I can only assume that there's going to be some combos to try and catch people off guard. And I'm guessing they thought they'd lost a bit more control than they had, because full stun, everybody running to the B site, and there is nobody there.
Yeah, they were rushing to the wall to defend the breach, but the cracks were elsewhere as Yetterjay's found out, paying his life for that information. And a lurk from Camo that is far behind the pack. I'll struggle to anticipate this one as the A site's been lost. The spike trailing a little bit worryingly. And all's well and good as Camo catches the double on the lurk, the triple evading him, sociable at least, giving FUT a chance, but a slim one.
There's another layer to this as well. There's so many players just left entrapped in different positions. It's something that Liquid did fantastically well, especially in their opening game, was just finding that space and then exploiting it when players tried to rotate. Nats might be the master of it, but we've got a lot of intelligent players over on that Liquid roster, and we've said it before, a Crostali clutch is not that rare anymore. It's something he does regularly, but this one, with 3 players lined up, I think he's almost questioning whether he wants to give the orb over.
Well, the choice might not be his. Nats has a sneaking suspicion that he knows where this man might be, and, well, he looked the wrong way. Crostali finding one before going down, but an opening for Team Liquid that I think is very welcome after the stall out in the second half of Haven.
Yeah, I think it's going to take a bit to sort of reset after that one. Really sort of gain that confidence back. But I also think going into this map, even if they had the sort of like loss on Haven, they would have gone, okay, but we're going to win Summit. Like, I think they're going to have to have really spent a lot of time reinventing the wheel while also playing play-ins at the same time and not playing this map. So for FUT, I think it's going to take some proving that they have some legs on this map. And I do kind of have the expectation, as always, that they'll be better on the attack. But you know what happened in the last map.
Yeah, I was there. It was that's one that Liquid will be quick to forget.
Oh, no.
Although the good thing is, you know, we said after that first half they didn't have a lot to learn from, and Nats was talking about how important that is. Well, look, lots of tape there to go back over. So always look on the bright side. You win or you learn. And Liquid not looking to learn the hard way here on map number 2. Should be a clean follow-up. A risk taken by Nats, the man with the Spectre. Usually you'd see the pistol, and possibly the pistol who's one away from having the orb that you really like, but instead, no one's getting an orb. It's denied. This is disgusting. It's disrespectful to the game, to the opposition. Frankly, league officials have to do something about that. No, it's a wise way to close out the round. And you know what we asked for a while, you know, would we see anyone go down to the door? Well, there's a crafty little usage of it. Deny orbs on the other side.
Richie, like, Sop's like, move over. I'm not gonna get crushed by the door. 2-0. No orbs gained, and I think especially with Camo looking to get towards that run it back, it was one of the few attack side rounds that they managed to get over the line. Either way, the defense are already getting aggressive. A contact made. But there's a second layer to this. SOP also pressuring, but that's an upgraded weapon for Nats. In these sort of rounds, that's absolutely fine. It puts them up to rifles across the board. But clearly the plan was to throw out a wide net in this round because the spike was all the way back in the spawn. Now being retrieved, but the defense are not just sitting pretty. They're looking to clear some of these closer angles. Zeus not ready for Kicks, and Yenergy had already gone back to the A site.
Kicks has gone back to clear Cristalli, but FUT are the ones to come out ahead in that fight. An even playing field now. The numbers not there to defend. Sociable a little off the angle, and Purpo, the beautiful little one-way thrown up. A cloudburst to set himself up for success. A door he closed himself. There's no other angle to worry about. And with Trex closing it out, 3-0. Well, reminiscent of Haven. A strong start indeed.
Yeah, this round looked incredibly comfortable for them. They had the expectation of aggression, but then they just pause for a little bit. They wait patiently for the defensive side to try and make a move, try and get aggressive. And other than Purpo entering into the site, the remaining kills of the rounds were pretty much just all them waiting for players to walk into the angles. It's definitely something the FUT are going to have to consider in future rounds. And on this one, it seems like SOP just wants to deny that orb control. Even still, though, for Liquid. A group up of 4, a lurker of Nats. This is kind of what you expect to be the norm.
Well, I won't make any statements about the difficulty of Yenergy's day. But he does have a lot of opponents on the other side of that smoke. As it fades, he drops back to the A site, but he might have given himself a corner to fight from, but that fight will not be easy. SOP trying to spot them on the way out, do some damage. Mission failed, and it's on to Yenergy to hold the line. One, really more than you could even expect from him. It's not enough for FUT to have a chance. Weak weapons across the board, now facing into a plant and a run it back for Camo. Hell, if they get the run it back out of him, that's great.
Yeah, there's no way.
You want to make this as costly as possible for a Liquid 3-0 up that has a ton of credits in the bank. And with only one player rebuying, like bits of utility, it's not enough to keep that economy modest. Camo!
Okay.
My guy got lost.
He's asleep at the wheel. The ultimate can't be pulled out. It doesn't matter though. Trex with the pre-fire. Honestly, I've seen people with walls that have less read on the game than he does in those moments.
Cameron's still the highlight for me. He's just walked in backwards. Just fully...
Well, you know, you'd never shoot a guy in the back, right?
He just stuck his cheeks through, man. I'm not like, what is that? Taking the term of cheeks peak to a whole nother level. That's crazy. Well, oh yeah, weapon thrown away. He did it for the orb, of course, yes.
He already had his orb.
No. He did that. He wanted the orb, so...
Yeah. He wanted them to have an orb. Ultimate online. Early fault line. Didn't really manage to find anything off the back of it. The breach thus far hasn't shown its value, but this is where they look to pressure into their site. The Gravwell comboed with it, but even still, it's only Camo's ultimate that is lost. They've delayed them quite a bit, but at the expense of a fair amount of utility. In fact, the entire breach utility belt has been thrown in. Even a few of the stars have gone as well. And Liquid still have a full minute to play with.
Yeah, they ran back early from B main. It looks like they expect some sort of a crunch to come their way. Very hesitant in that early fight. That sense of trepidation replaced by patience on mid. Zeus caught on the walkout. An opening pick as the op now goes to search. SOP going to find himself with a few targets coming his way. The first locked in with ease. He's managed to backpedal his way to the B site.
30 seconds left.
Only gap really though is Purpo. Even if he doesn't catch Yedege here, it's about him sneaking through. They've left the door open and only now go to check it. Luckily, Kicks is caught. FUT still standing just about in this round with an advantage.
God, they still need something from Yedege. Either just survival or
Stun?
at least getting
10
one.
seconds left.
They're going to slow them down. The spike has been caught, but never mind. Yedege doesn't expect Camo to be there. So even though it's going to be a late plant, it is going to be a plant nonetheless. Back into a 3v3 scenario. Operator given over to Sociable because he's low on HP. They're going to have to try and clear this back corner, and Purpo hasn't really been missing today. Sop at least waking up, but also you got that crossfire held by Camo, and Trex is also watching his buddy. Sop at least managing to get one onto the side, but the patience of Camo is rewarded. A chance for a lineup, and Sop knows that time is ticking away. They need him to pull off the 4K, and in this occasion, he will.
Well, think back to Haven, the 3K from Yedege. They even attributed it to that moment, to the force by success that they found. That's what got FUT back into the game. Now, early on, it's a round from Sop, a man who went through that first half with 2 kills.
Yeah.
I mean, and he might as well have had 0. It looked like he had the most uncomfortable half that I've seen from him down on that stage, even on the other stage. But here we go. FUT on the board now with 1. The gap not quite as big as it was before, and Sop online early.
Oh, Liquid looking to try and find a recovery. Let's listen in to their team comms to see if they have the answer.
It's gonna overkill me.
Don't say anyone.
There's smoke, there's smoke. Just walk side to
80 on him.
Can you close door, Nikita?
I will try.
Behind the box, guys. It's going to be hard for me to help you. Hard for you? Can you close the door? Wait, I have. You didn't see anyone here, yeah? They only walked up.
Remaining. Spike down.
Apples
A.
city. Nice try. So he has this one kill.
What a round from Yedege. You're asking about it in the last one, but the reason for the end zone flawless in this one is his just mastery of positioning. Constant moving around that site. The early fight, I think you even hear someone, I don't see anyone, and then TP's into the smoke, and he's able to find multiple players caught off guard. Like, look at the amount of times people are just looking the wrong way with Yedege walking around the corner. This is a nigh on perfect round from him as a site anchor, and it's something that you always worry about when you see a Sentinel player switch over to a smoke. Like, can they still hold the site as well as that? Well, in this case, he can.
A masterclass, and building on the work that Sop did in the previous. Another big play for FUT, 2 in a row. That should be the confidence sky high yet again. And Yedege with another block built on top, success after success. These rounds have taken a turn for the better. The triple flank on the way. I don't think Trex is ready for what's coming around that corner, and Crystalli, the first man, was more than enough.
Wait, this is tough now, because you got that pit on the site, but you're going to lose a lot of the control behind. It doesn't really block off players from making out of spawn, so even though you have the pit, you are ultimately surrounded. The flash leaves Purpo completely blind. Into the site goes one, and already they are getting wiped out. That Viper's pit barely lasted a second on the retake. And from what was an early streak of rounds from Liquid, looking reminiscent of the last map, is now back-to-back in the end zone flawless. Is the credits flying for the side of FUT and their streak of rounds of their own.
It is starting to feel exactly like Haven, but a little bit sped up. Liquid not making it as far into the lead as FUT. Again on the back, it plays from Yedege. This time with Sop. They fight their way not just through this.
How is that not a kill?
Not just the attack inside, but the pit to get back in like that.
Wait, listen to me sometimes. I love it.
The flanks are one thing.
Come on.
Okay. It's got a celebratory Kit Kat. That's how you know it's a good day. And a timeout from Team Liquid as they have seen those last 3 rounds fly.
Creatable in the world, but I think now we look to Liquid and see, okay, what have you picked up from this? And it might be to try and put a little bit more pressure on that B site. They've been leaning towards A in a lot of these rounds, and when you're able to pick off Yedege, I think that works. But now he's causing the problems, and well, speaking of problems, they stunned up the player with the drone. Trex had nowhere of surviving that, and they've even thrown the showstopper in.
Made.
That was almost round over. It may still be.
The timing there as well. Sop has slipped the gaze of kicks. That could work out in favor for Liquid. A man behind enemy lines. But Yedege caught. In fact, that's all the players almost surrounded. Camo running forward, making noise, drawing their eye. The molly to slow them down, but they ran through it. Zeus gave his life for the play, but kicks strikes for only one. An advantage that could have been greater, but he's willing to capitalize early as the second layer of the flank comes through. If the second isn't enough, the third would be. Purpo joining him now. They've got the spike on lockdown and only Sop to deal with. But this isn't that half one Sop of before. This is one who's confident. Look at the aggression. Walking out into mid with an op. And if he keeps going, he might just cut them off.
Oh, it's all down to timing. If any of them step,
30 seconds left.
it's game over. Does he's watching. He's watching. He's looking in the right direction. I don't know how he knows, but he does. He's seen him reading off where they go, and he's trying to get round the corner with a shorty. I don't know if he expected kicks to be low. I feel like he should have an idea that he's not. Either way, he's made it back to the site.
10 seconds
Only
left.
one bullet left.
Spike planted.
In this shorty, it needs to be dead accurate, and it is! I said at the beginning the confidence has gone nowhere, but I feel like it's elevated to a new level at this point.
Yeah, that blunted blade from half one of Haven will now, it's making the rivers run red.
He's flexing on him.
Incredible work from Sop. The push on mid, catching them in spawn. I was worried as well. Will he think they're already on A? Will he look towards long? But no. He had it locked down, and a Red Bull clutch puts FUT onto 4 and 4. This map is somewhere that Liquid have shown. Even some of who are often regarded as the best of our region have been embarrassed at their hands when it comes to Summit. But right now, FUT are on 4 in a row. They're matching everything that Liquid are putting down. And soon, they'll be looking like the better squad here if Liquid can't pick up the pace.
Yeah, they're doing it in their own way. There's no doubt about it. Individual brilliance. Purpo's like, yeah, I'm going to try and displace his aim by flying up in the air at rapid speed. Not quick enough. Double it, give it to the next person. You're not getting past Sop with that. And again, they look to play into the retake, giving up that A-site control. We've seen post plants from Liquid in this position before, but let's be real, they have a lot less to play with here.
No, of course. He's up against the low buy, and he shows no fear! Sop, perhaps a man who needs to cool down. It looks like he's overheating, but it doesn't have any effect.
He's been killed by Sociable.
No man on the other side can kill him. So Sociable does it himself.
I will say, not Sociable's fault. That is just Sop dives straight into that aftershock.
That man was not going to stop unless someone stopped him. Not sure Sociable intended to be that man, but, well.
He makes things look so easy. Sure, it's a weak buy, but
look at him just
look, that's where the aftershock went through, and he dives directly into it.
He looks genuinely mad.
Yeah, it's like, what are you doing? It's like, that was there before you moved.
Come on.
And you have to laugh at it from the FUT coaching booth.
It's like when a kid runs into a table. That's what it is when Sop gets killed by a utility that was there before he ran into it.
If they weren't 4-0 down and now into 5-4, they might be a little bit more worried. There might be a bit more of a serious tone there. Like, all right, mate, you got 3 in an anti-eco. Slow it down, please. But they are 5-4 up. And if you do anything to kill Sop's confidence right now, you're making the wrong play. The guy is feeling it. And for Team Liquid, they have to find a way to cancel him out. All thrown towards the B site. It does get Sop to rotate. And they picked off Zeus. Nats is the one taking the double. The whole idea here was to get the A site in a much more vulnerable position. And they've done that now.
Yedege left on an island once again. There is a rotation. And actually, he just eliminated kicks like it was nothing.
Stop's coming to watch us back.
That was almost meant to be the surprise factor, but yeah,
No
he's
gap.
taking the angle. This
gap
was the
anymore.
one position that could be the fly-through, and instead, Popo's got to think, well, for a second ago I had a gap. But that gap dissipated. Trex is in a good spot. Yedige going through, it's a little bit too much. Even still, though, it puts it down to a 2 versus 1, and this time, Sop, I was going to say not going to be overconfident, but he is. He's running it down. He's running straight into his opponent. Cristalli has revealed exactly where he is, and why not at this point? Sop is dominating from 2 kills in the first half of the first map to already 13 in the first half of this one.
He kick-started this comeback just like Yedige on Haven. Much earlier arriving to the party. What a start for Liquid as well. Like, the run it back is used, so that's not a kill. Nat's being traded out 2 for 1, but they are so painfully slow in going into A. Even after that first fight, Yedige spots one creeping up on main, and he's given a ton of time. Sop is allowed to go from spawn all the way to cave to watch the gap they just created.
Where's
and
he
that's
going?
Liquid with a misread on timing. We don't normally see
where
that.
is he going?
Okay, Sop. Now we can say he's overheated, and that flame has been snuffed out.
Yeah, they wanted to crush them in this round. An attempted pincer from the B side and crossing into mid. I don't mind the idea, but it has failed miserably, and Yetige is called upon again, and well, this time he's baited by the spike.
Spike
Tries to
planted.
turn around, and Sociable. A breach 1v5 clutch. The agent not really necessary, and you know, that's, you had it for free.
Sorry.
There you go. I think maybe thought about the knife.
Can we get a replay of Sociable spinning around and looking directly at Nats before walking away? I swear to God, he looked at him. It must have come up on the radar.
Oh, 6 rounds in a row is ended by an end zone flawless.
Oh, let me just check. Yep, someone there. Better keep going. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I missaw that.
Oh, that's unlucky.
Okay. Yeah, I think he maybe saw his hand. Never mind. It's not quite as obvious as it looked from his opponent's perspective. Oh, well, 6-5, a chance to be even at the half, but when you're 4-0 up as Liquid on this map of all, yeah, that's a letdown if they can even make it there.
They managed to force Sop back off the angle, but when you lose one angle, another one will reveal itself. Showstopper out, but Kicks has picked him out of the air. An important kill to keep his teammate alive. Sop still waiting around middle, but again, this is the Liquid pause, the thing that was working for them at the beginning of this map to put them in position, and what this time? Sop not quite able to pull off the flick. Instead, they're looking to try and clear the man that has been on this A site all the time. I imagine they would consider it to be Yedige, but he's actually swapped up. And although the Cosmic Divide goes down for them, I think it's actually helped out Liquid more.
Leaving that mid space and leaving the door open is a death sentence. And against a man who loves to lurk, well, it'll make no difference because he's walked in and everyone's already dead. Catching Cristalli, the cherry on top of this round is Liquid, landing themselves a plant in a 5v2. Viper's Pit available, and I don't imagine they'll be saving it for the next round. Used to cut off those rotations. For FUT, well, like I said, even a 6-6 half, already a damn sight better than it looked like it'd be. But they want that lead. And Sop and Yedige have been the 2 players who you can pretty reliably put your money on to be putting those clutches on the board.
Yeah, this would have to be the best of them. So many angles to clear, so many covered, and Trex is already going to make sure that this round is an impossibility. I think with Liquid breaking that momentum again, they weren't able to do it in the last map once their opponents got going, and I think Yedige, he knows there's someone coming from behind eventually, but maybe has accepted his fate, looks to try and maybe improve the KD slightly, and he won't even be able to do that. Back-to-back in-zone flawlesses for Liquid to close out the half. It's been a storied half, a back and forth, but we will end level in the end.
6-6 for FUT. While a lot has gone right in this series so far, with the head coach temporarily suspended, Bambino has had a lot of...
With
of pressure on his back here today. Looks like he's handling it well. And we sat down with him, or maybe stood up, I lied last time, before the match. Let's hear what he had to say.
Bambino, you have said very publicly that you want to play against Team Liquid.
Yeah.
So, why is that?
I mean, they're a fun team to play, you know? I think they're really cringe in the best ways. Like, they play the cringest setups, and Nats is going to...
Join us there, scan that QR code, and you can get your tickets. Our finals, last 3 days, we'll be there, and perhaps we'll see these teams there as well. We could see them both, certainly not out of the world, the possibility. But who's going to continue in that upper bracket for FUT? A map up. They can lock it in here and be just one win away. Team Liquid, they've got to battle back in the pistol, and it's a bit of a bloodbath, but looking favored to the defense to start.
Well, yeah, this is going to be how this game goes. Just the sheer level of pace is being thrown out. Yedeje under serious pressure, but again, looking to make a diamond-level play. It leaves just one remaining, down to just Trex. His teammates crushed. But he's known for these moments. Sociable and Crustally found themselves in a post-punt, normally safe pair of hands, and even still some utility on the belt of Sociable to play with. Trex was expecting some sort of flank to come out. But it has never shown its face. The crossfire of players should make this impossible. He's got the expectation that Crustally is here, but doing something about it is difficult. Stun even going to come through on the cross, and it's perfectly played by FUT. Yedeje, again, will be the hero of the round, and I'll be honest, I don't even know how he got out of that with one.
Again, I think for FUT, under Sociable, it's been so nice to see this team have those moments, that tempered approach, where yes, they still have the aggression. We saw it on Haven, especially on the defense. So many rounds where Team Liquid were just tripped up at the starting block.
Go on,
and the thing is...
Oh, nice try. Nice! That's some breach value.
So four isn't enough for Bambino. That's what we've learned.
The thing is for FUT and Turkish teams in general, they were always known for having that aggressive style down, but the tempered approach, peeling back when the moment calls for it for FUT. It's worked out for a pistol.
I think they found the balance. That's the thing. They've got Sop and they've got Zeus, who are nutcases. But then you have players like Yedeje, who I think is a very safe pair of hands. Crustally as well in those late round moments. And then Sociable, that's kind of the line between the two. He can do some of the most insane things you've ever seen. But he can also be slow in the clutch. Nice shot from Sop. Losing man on one side of the map. I'm also just looking at, these are the insane things I'm talking about. Sociable's just walked through their spawn. By the way, he's one of the players with a rifle. He just never stopped going the second he was walking forward. He's got to be careful because there are other players on the map. And yeah, eventually he's going to be punished for it.
Kix wants that rifle as well. They kind of have to defend it, but he stepped out a little bit too early. No rifle to be picked up. Well, no rifle to be picked up by Liquid. Instead, it finds its way into the hands of Sop and Camo and Purpo. Again, now it's a very achievable goal. Winning the round, sure, it's always the golden standard, but a couple kills, even one here, the cost will be felt. But Camo fails, where Purpo must succeed. The problem is that spike plant location is not kind to him. They still have a nade, a free resource to be thrown at this man, and it's already on first tap deployed. Nice and easy for FUT. 3 players alive, 3 rifles carried forward. That's a big win to put them 8-6.
Yeah, a little bit of spice in the middle. Again, just not quick enough. It never seems to be, whoever's jumping versus Sop, but yeah, this for me is mental. Like, you got your support player pushing through the spawn with a rifle. They get out of it scot-free. A couple of upgrades even being purchased up to make this 4 rifles and an SMG. Again, the main danger always seems to be Sop, and let's see how pacey he's going to be in this round.
Purple wants to challenge, step back in after the smoke fades, but that is quite literally what FUT were hoping for. They have 5 players in mid, spread out in a fan. No matter where he stood, if he peeked into that angle, he was seeing at least one of them. And moments later, Purpo's gone. The man advantage with FUT. Maybe not for long. Kill onto Zeus, damage onto Sop as well. He's down to 23, just dodged a shock dart to stay
Nat's
alive.
going back.
Yeah, Nat's going back in. There's a little bit crazy. And Trex might have lost his mind. They were crunching from the other side, and they're even not crunching together right. One at a time from Team Liquid, the cerebral gameplay that we speak about. Nowhere to be seen early in half number 2.
Yeah, we were singing their praises on the defensive side of Haven about how good they were at getting the gambles in, having those crossfires. That was solely 1-by-1. I wouldn't even be surprised if we see a pause directly after this round, because that was so messy from them. And they had them trapped. They knew where they were. They knew the positions they were coming from, and they almost had everybody in the right place at the right time. But instead, they all decided, this is my round to be a hero.
But Nat slowed them down. He peeks. Trex, I guess, tries to trade him, but
really
a little bit late.
Yeah, really
so he's
late.
on his own. And it almost looks like Trex is also trying to keep the fight going so the guys come up behind, right? If they're canceling and going back in that direction, they'll turn a quick eye and your boys will clean up. But then Camo's like 3 seconds behind on the flank, behind his teammate. I think Kix is around the corner. That just looked perplexing. And I really would not be surprised if a timeout is called, because when you see a round fall apart, there you go. Saw the timer on the screen, Team Liquid timeout. And you lose a round like that in a way that they just did at 9-6 on map 2, when you lost the lead in the first. Geez, I would not want to be sat in Liquid's comms right now.
You can see it here. There is no point in this round where they are taking 2 fights at once.
He gets to swap weapon, for God's sake. Like, that's a double.
Their opponents haven't played, and they are currently 2-0 versus KC and Fnatic. Expectation was that this was their safety net after things slipped away. And well, Sop, a man who they completely shut out of half number 1, has been nothing but fantastic ever since.
He's ran away to join his team thinking like, well, they're not going to re-peek me on mid, but 2 people did. They were looking for him. Purpo and Kix won't find anyone home on mid and fall back to the B site with Nats that leaves 1 man on his own.
The only
man
rifle.
with shields and a rifle. The man who hasn't been spotted and's given up a lot of ground, so he gets the jump on the first. No time to flash. He's got a swing. The stun is perfect. It didn't do anything in the end, but because Cristalli was a little too quick on the trigger.
Displaced.
Sociable. Hey, robbed of an assist, though. The stats won't show his impact, and Mini's going to be harping on about the numbers, isn't he? But he missed the true impact there. Fear.
Yeah, I think they might have that already at this point.
In abundance.
Up close. Whoa, it's not the prettiest from Sociable,
Breach.
but oh, this is only a 3 versus 3. They've got to be careful. The time has been ticking a while. I think that's going to help them out the most. But a chance to make this costly.
Right there.
Again, though, Purpo made the distraction. The rest of the players need to try and make their mark on this round. I think they may be going down to the spike or not. It's going to be the fight for it. And in the end, FUT 10 rounds on the board now. Their first outing on Summit. It's looking like their first victory. And a chance to send them 1 win away from Barcelona, but also putting them into an excellent spot in terms of the points, in terms of a chance to make it to champions as well. Either way, after 4 rounds in a row, it was where we saw FUT break back and go on a streak. This time, it's an opportunity for Liquid to maybe do the same. However, let's listen in to the team currently in the lead.
Ben smoke verdim. Sağ olur.
Arkaya baksana.
Alacağım abi.
Kanka şeye dikkat et. Tamam çıkar.
Drop'u aldım.
Beyler smoke çıkışına bakıyorum.
Planti versene bana.
Okan arkanı
Yesu
smoke atıyorum.
smoke'ların var mı default
Bir tane var.
smoke'lar?
No, plant down.
They got very shielded.
We need to wave it. We need to wave it ASAP.
Go, I'm gonna flash
I'm gonna
here.
one-way triple.
Go. I'm waving already.
Breach is going main. Breach
Walk
is
out.
going main.
Walk out.
Okay, walk out. Breach went main, guys.
Wall is over, boys.
Maybe
Maybe
drop.
I'm aiming left.
Guys, I want a TP triple with
One more drop. Raise drop.
I'm
wall
gonna
drop.
TP
Go,
triple.
go. I wall your drop.
Nothing below. Wait on me.
Oh, the bridge full.
Fade triple.
Ah be abi. Go get him.
Bring just save, guys. Go save, bring the gas.
They got bridge full, bro.
Well, it looks like they're running for the hills, Tom. Weapons carried over for Team Liquid. The only thing they'll leave behind is that rifle and their pride, perhaps. With 11 on the board now, FUT.
Recovering it.
It seems like are unstoppable on Summit. This a statement victory, even so far. Haven, the comeback was unbelievable. And here they start 4-0 down. That comeback right away from round 5. And since that moment, since about round 7, Tom, it has felt like Liquid get to touch the reins only when FUT allow them.
Oh yeah, that round looked so clean. Like, even though it was a full retake, Liquid never really looked like they found a gap into it. I think having the ultimate for the post plant definitely helped out, but forced into a save of 3 players when you're in a pretty damning position.
This way.
And again, it's looking direct. For a moment, I thought SOP was just going to send it, but instead they take the orb and they're replaying their move back. I think the defense have pushed up expecting maybe a more all-in play, but the second they don't see that move, they're going to fall back, not wanting to fight for this middle control. Maybe even losing a little bit of the confidence, because I feel like we've seen them pressure and push in these sort of moments before, but they have fallen all the way back after the initial contact on A.
Bomb buddy out.
Maybe feeling the fight's a little bit better
Here we go.
when they're through that elbow, but instead, FUT take this fight towards the B side. Another passive stance. Kicks delaying with the paranoia, but Purpo missed a crucial shot. Now they're on him, and he's forced into main, where waiting is Yedije. A beautiful stun from Sociable, puts Purpo out of commission, kicks, trips and falls, and Camo. Hot hands are gonna get him one. With Sociable down,
That's all.
ult online. He might have a chance to get them back into this. The grab well is delaying him by a little bit. Ult down to half by the time he makes it to the site. But he's caught Zeus looking the wrong way. Yedije falls with him. And Team Liquid, with a patient approach, they have found their way back onto the scoreboard.
Well, it's the same again. Exactly the same as the last map. They look like they were in trouble, and Camo has brought them home around to like his patience with the ultimate. Because again, I think the initial usage of this run it back was just run as fast as you can through all of the utility, make loads of noise, be a distraction. But we've seen players a lot more being very patient, being slow, almost using the element of surprise. And him being able to clear all of these close corners, but also just pouncing perfectly at the last second to clear out Yedije. It's a round that Liquid desperately needed. But again, we saw this in the second half of the last map. They find a break and then immediately FUT respond. This needs to be the beginning of a streak for Team Liquid.
4-round gap. Still a lot of ground to make up for the defensive side. Nats on A has gone for a very interesting wall indeed. Normally we see this more to compete for main, compete for mid. Instead, this is locking off that control for a retake, but he sat on site. He's surrounded! Didn't even see SOP coming.
Oh, it's come forward!
Landed onto Trex with a deep run through. Trex had no idea what was coming his way. And that Hunter has to be furious with the ult falling flat. FUT miles in the lead. Even a C's insult to injury. Liquid might almost have to consider a save, but they need this round.
Yeah, they're in trouble. They're in big trouble. And even if they get one, it's traded. A 2v. It seems impossible. Yeah, I thought they'd save, as you said, like when it was 3, but now they're boxed in. Because you best believe that Sociable isn't going to stop pushing. You best believe there aren't other players running around. Look at the way SOP's just sprinting around the entirety of the map. They are trying to lock them into these positions. There is no escape from this spot. Well, Purpo's going to try and dance for his life, but he will not survive. FUT, one away from continuing in that upper bracket. And as said, it could not afford to be just a one and done for Liquid. But with this man in this kind of form, I'll say it again, I'll be a broken record. He had 2 kills in the first half of the first map, and ever since then, he's been the best player in the server.
Yeah, it was crazy how fast he's on them. completely catching multiple players off guard. A great little detail at the end as Sociable sets up the stun instead of the swing so that Zeus can go for the fight. Sure, he dies, but who cares? They're at 12-7, and now they've got a showstopper to open up the round. But the shot doesn't land. Purpo and Kicks answer right back. They might not have much to play with, but what little they do has given an advantage. The Blade Storm's still online, rifles across the board, and Kicks, the man with the weaker weapon. Well, I think he just walked over a rifle. Indeed, Purpo took it, just gifted it over.
Yeah, I'll have a Blade Storm and a rifle, and you can keep your Stinger. Doesn't seem very fair.
Blocking sight.
Even still, though, FUT are not giving up on this B site. Well, the Liquid players have got to be careful. I think Purpo's just got the information they needed. A difficult fight back in, but it has to be said, FUT have won tougher rounds than this. But with 4 players and a flank basically holding them in, going back
40 seconds
would have immense risks about it because they'll have to do it quickly. And I think they'll have to know, yeah, look at all the angles are being checked, except this
30
one.
seconds left.
Yeah, I think it's the first time I've seen someone in that position, so I'm not surprised that they're surprised by it. An in-zone flawless from Team Liquid is one way to answer. FUT tried to say, let's end it now. Right off barrier up, they're in with the showstopper that they farmed up at the end of the last round. This was an intentional, disrespectful close to the game, but they've been denied. Team Liquid, 4 rounds in a row. They have done stranger. In fact, they started off this map with that. They started off the previous with 8.
30 seconds left. 30 seconds left. One enemy remains.
The other thing I'll say is this was a very
Spike down
different
mid.
round to what FUT have normally ran because of that showstopper, because of the direct approach. Now Liquid have to prove that they can beat what has been working.
Yeah, one away from a Rolling Thunder. Viper's Pit online for Nats, but again, it's finding the position to use it. Well, the operator, a bullet, will give that away. That's something that I think Liquid are going to have to be more than aware of. But again, they've been quite passive on this defense, sitting back, waiting for their opponents to take some control, and giving this much space to FUT definitely has its risks about it. In fact, they're even going to start walking up, expecting somebody to be here. It's whether or not they can win this fight. First shot, stun, but Trex does escape around the corner, has a teammate for support, but even still, trade coming in from Crystalli. Kicks is fighting for his life on that side, but he's fighting well! 4 kills! He should have been dead long ago! But he has given Liquid a lifeline. Spike on the ground. He's not hunting for that ace, but he might just be gifted it. Sociable looking to wrap the corner, and Kicks, he can't quite close it. But his teammate will a moment later.
They've weathered the storm. The first of many to come. A standard round from FUT. Trex pushed back, dodging that opening shot. Kicks was
How does he survive
honestly lucky
this?
to trade, but then getting out 7 bullets left, and he takes 3 kills
Spike down.
from that point. 7 shots and his position known. But it makes no difference to this man. A lifeline indeed. Liquid were on their last legs. More about the pace, his positioning. I think A site. Team Liquid is going to remember that for a long time to come, how quickly he closed in on them for FUT. 12-9, a light buy, but a rifle for Sup. It's a whole lot better than a classic, and of course that biggest investment goes on to this man. If things start to go right, Crystalli and Yedege could have their ultis. There's already a Rolling Thunder there. An opening pick is much more dangerous than it might look. If FUT find a reason to invest into this round, they could take over.
They go for the same route as the last round, but this time doubling back. Nats is, again, sort of setting up the bait. And the bait. Oh, but what? Oh, it's trigger discipline, but even still, he sold Nats down the river. He was willing to let his leader die so that he could get those kills. I guess in his mind, a worthwhile trade.
Some of you will die. A price he's more than willing to pay. Of course, Nats would be the king of this castle. There's been a revolution For Team Liquid, a 10th round, that's what they need, and it looks like they've done the work. Sheriffs are dangerous in the hands of FUT, but with Sociable down to 2 HP, and Yedajay deep in the Molotov.
30 seconds left.
Seems like all the danger is out of this round. And if Sociable goes on to win this one, they'll never live it down, but I wouldn't back him.
No, they don't even need to push, and I think they know who's on the other side of the stage. Camo going to make sure that that doesn't go anywhere. A trap setup of sorts, although I do think that Nats was expecting it to kill him before he got around that corner.
Yeah, he probably didn't expect that much trigger discipline to come into play, but you know, he got 2. So
I got mine.
isn't that worth it? I got mine and yours. I got yours as well for you, in case you didn't notice. And the ult online for Camo with that final kill.
Don't hold back.
For Team Liquid, well, deciding when to put that in is going to be important. They have a Viper's Pit to play with as well. 2 more rounds. A loss here sends them into the lowers.
Now we talk about the Liquid lower bracket runs, so I'm sure they don't want to go there so soon. Camo again. He's won them so many rounds off the back of this ultimate. Quick trigger. And no one lost on the other side. Kicks is also going walkabouts. A freebie on Sociable. A second as well. And Liquid, you throw in that run it back. And it feels like we say in zone flawless almost every single time. No one dying on the Liquid side. And from the clutches of defeat, they are now just 1 away from taking us to OT.
An in-zone flawless to get within 1 of overtime. Really nice use of that run it back, as you said. The flash, first of all, completely blinds Sop, but it's the fact that he's not the only one taking that space. Kicks walks with him, staggered, a little bit behind. And it's enough to get him into that smoke. They see the run it back fade and think, okay, well, now we just have to worry about the second wave. But they don't know about the man flying under the radar, who surfaces at just the right moment. 12-11, 1 more for Liquid. At 4 rounds in a row. It's brought them here. And for FUT, only the Rolling Thunder really to work with. In terms of those ultis, a pick for Sop, and it gets a little spooky, but he might get that pick. It's Camo that's in danger. Rolling Thunder straight through to this connector, and it's off rip. Camo has no escape from this. He needs to hit the shot, and it's impossible against Sop.
Oh, they did it just to kill 1 man. That 1 man for them felt like a worthwhile trade, and they spotted a second man. Sop's only low, but it didn't matter.
Spike planted.
Maybe the fake comeback for Liquid. They need to win a 3v5. Now Sop's low. Zeus is low. No ultimates to play with on one side, a Viper's Pit on the other, but they still have utility to delay, to slow. And they're going to have to wait that out.
Yeah, and the slow here as well to make use of Sop's low HP. He's gone around on the flank. He'll be coming through mid, and Liquid need to be quick. The Viper's Pit put through to make it uncomfortable, but everything being watched still. The pit, it won't cover that much space. It makes it difficult to defuse. They need the picks, and none are found. And in zone flawless for 13-11. A fantastic